Dumelang Tate Rakepile, ukai kaje, no?
Yepe, so visual Dean.
Ai, ki hlotse sintle. It's so nice to meet you this afternoon. Yeah, Tate, I was thinking about it this week. And you know, the funny thing occurred to me, I was looking into a lot of conspiracy theories. And, you know, it struck me how easy it is for us humans to be, you know, confused and to get wrong information from our senses. And
conspiracy about God?
Amongst other things, you know, there was a lot of these, there were some cults, you know, there were some cults in what I read as well. And, you know, what sparked this whole investigation was this UFO cult. And I said to myself, you know, what is the difference actually between religious belief and aliens? You know, people who believe in aliens. And I, you know, and the more I thought about it, there was very little difference that I could tell. So, you know, let's think about, for example, eyewitness accounts. You know, there were people, there were eyewitnesses to, you know, the Jewish God, and then also we have people who see eyewitness accounts of aliens. I mean, people actually go to visit the aliens, and they you know, have conversations with the aliens. And you know,
but that God coming from where? From Israel, or coming from Earth, or coming from outside?
Well, you know, there's the aliens can be in different dimensions as well. I've heard stories of you know, aliens from other dimensions coming to visit people. You know, so there's a lot of similarities between the two. But you know what the funny thing is? There's actually better evidence for aliens than there are for religions. But
what is Yahweh's alien?
There's a lot of people who actually hold onto that belief. If you have read, I mean, you know, in the latter half of the previous century, there was a lot of you know, people got interested in this ancient aliens theory, where the theory goes that we humans, we were placed here on Earth by an alien civilization and left with technology and whatever to live on this planet. And then after a while, we lost knowledge of this origin of ours. And that is why you'll find hieroglyphs depicting aliens and spaceships. And, they're going to great depths. Even, some of the tribes up in Africa, like the Dogon, the people in South America who built those.
The ones that they say they know about the constellations and
yes, and stuff that are not accessible by the naked eye, that we only detected much later with scientific instruments. But now they say that this is proof that these people have got some advanced knowledge, from an alien civilization.
And you hear it also on the pyramids. People saying there's no way that humans with their size and tools could have lifted such heavy is it block? Those are not bricks.
And they say that these the stones of the Pyramid of Giza, for example, were engineered to such precision that you can't even fit a sheet of paper in between them. That's how they so it's crazy.
I think that's an exaggeration on the accuracy. But there's still a question as to how those things were engineered. And we hear a lot of theories about sound and other things. But as you say, there are theories, but more plausible than the theory of bushes that were burning but not. No. By the way, bushes that were on fire but not burning.
Yeah. Or what wasn't the thing that the bushes never burnt to ashes? They just kept on burning and burning and burning. That is what the sign was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but if it's not burning into ashes and it's a bush and it's green and it's not dry and it's catching fire, that sounds like magic, and in a world that is free of magic. Understanding the theory of how a pyramid came about, even though it's just a theory, it's better than understanding that bush that is not burning into it, but in flames.
Exactly. This is a very important thing that you mentioned. It's because sometimes the honest answer is we don't know. That is the honest thing to say. But we are deeply uncomfortable with this idea of not knowing something. So people are far more likely to invent an explanation just so that they can say, okay, yes, we know what happened here. X, Y, Z is responsible.
I find myself comfortable with not knowing than inventing something. Because if I say I don't know, then somebody's going to come with information that is going to build on my curiosity to know. But if I say now I know it's because of this and this, then all of a sudden I have closed any more answers as to what is happening.
Yeah, that's true. You when you claim to know the answer, you automatically want to stop learning, and that stops you from inquiring and being open to new ideas. Yeah. So we all have seen the movies with aliens in them, and the aliens are usually come and they're very angry. The aliens, they come and they just want to destroy and blow everything up because humanity is, so bad and so wicked, and we're destroying the planet and we're destroying the environment. So
even though I'm a bad person when it comes to movies, I don't watch that much movies. I'm the type of 2 movies per year of a person.
But
And as a result, I haven't seen much movies for aliens. I've read about them. I've had people making claims about certain places like Area 50, what is it, 53 or what?
51, I think, Area 51.
51.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see, I even get those numbers wrong. In the
Yeah.
desert, yeah.
But this is the thing, is like all of these stories about aliens, there are various different genres of there's some where, like, for example, ET, where ET comes and he's just this benevolent little creature. And then you get to the aliens, for example, of that movie Independence Day, which is they come here to invade, and to conquer and to enslave humans and use the resources. So we always have this idea when we look out into the universe that there has to be we can't be alone. We can't be alone in this. The universe is so big and so massive, so the probability of life existing elsewhere is just there has to be life somewhere else. So this gives us this.
When you look at the chances, because this thing of life is just the right conditions.
Yeah.
The distance from the energy source, the sun, the availability of water and oxygen. But there might be other elements that are suitable for life.
Exactly.
Maybe it's not even life that is similar to ours.
Yes. There's a lot of talk about. So we are carbon-based animals, So our physiology and everything is based on carbon. The majority of all the organisms on our planet, in fact, if not all of them, are all carbon-based. But scientists also hypothesize that you can have a silicone-based life form. So the anatomy and the type of life that we might encounter one day might be so completely alien to what we are used to. We might not even.
But silicon already we have. What do you call them? For automation, we use silicon-based brains.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't for life. Yeah. When they talk about silicon-based life, it's another theory that we haven't experienced as yet, but it's probable also.
Yeah. And then this concept of knowledge that that people have from ancient civilizations that that go lost. We have a lot of it in even in our African culture. There is also stories of these societies that lived before us that were more advanced and that had more knowledge of certain things. For example, I don't know if there's somewhere in the Eastern Transvaal they discovered these ruins where there was this massive African city and civilization that was
where they say the aliens put humans there to get gold.
Yes. I don't know, like the aliens can fly.
We are laughing about this. It might be true, it might not be, but yeah. Who's the gentleman, by the way, that loves that story? He's a musician, and he pushes the Anunnaki story.
Yes.
Michael Tellinger.
Yeah. This is, now that you've mentioned this Anunnaki story as well. When I was much younger, I read the guy who came up with this thing. I think his name was Sitchin, Zachariah Sitchin, who wrote these books, and they started to translate these Sumerian tablets and Babylonian tablets. And what he did is he invented like half of the story, and then later on, when mainstream academia started to translate these tablets, these things were grocery lists of on that day, so and so bought 5 bags of wheat and built a house. And when I looked at his translation, he was telling this fascinating story about aliens and people coming from the sky. And
Mm-hmm. And tell me, have you had a chance of reading the Book of Enoch?
This is very long ago, but I know that there's stories about flying craft and wheels of light.
It's on my to read list. I haven't read it, but I understand also it talks about the giants and and they say Anunnakis must be from that book.
Yeah.
But the question is when they did the canon, as they wrote the Bible and put together the pieces of books that they find, this canonicity and leaving out other books that have stories that don't fit in their narrative. That one also leaves question marks.
But this, this concept of people are, for me, when I look at the progress that we make as a human civilization, we learned, in the space of 2,000 years, we went from farmers to people who leave the atmosphere of their own planet to go and visit another body in the solar system, just in such a short period of time. But these people who are fond of this theory of, this is knowledge from ancient aliens imparted to us, they're very dismissive about our ability to learn and progress and, do these things on our own. There's even people who say, yes, if we, if there wasn't some form of external intervention, we would still be on the savannah, hunting for, digging for roots and nuts and hunting for animals. How can we possibly
with a lot of hair all over the body? The question sometimes that I have, I ask myself whether bonobos, gorillas, and chimpanzees, when they look at us, don't we look like aliens, maybe?
There's some people you're gonna have a hard time to distinguish between the two.
Sometimes when they look at each other and it causes the other one say, you don't hear the language basis say, look at that one, look how smooth he is. You think such creatures come from this planet? How did they land here?
That's true. And then also there is this idea of the savior complex that's built into our DNA. It's instead of looking for that locus of control within yourself, people are looking for something outside of themselves. Oh no, the aliens are going to come with technology and they're going to show us how to heal the planet and make sure that we don't destroy the environment because they've got access to advanced technology that we will, that we don't have time to learn before the planet implodes. And it's the exact same concept plays off in religion as well. So,
even we are not capable of the technology that we have now. They say somebody must have told us something. We are just primitive apes that were given. By the way, they call it what? Accelerated courses.
Yeah. But the same thing, applies to religion as well. People don't want to, because first of all, the religious texts, they all in some ways say, go forth and work the earth and till the soil, and you'll only find your, you'll eat from the sweat of your brow, and the earth is there for you to use. So people have been using the planet and always expecting that the gods will take care of them, instead of actually realizing, hey, look at the cumulative effect of everything that you're doing.
I've seen scriptures like, don't be anxious of what you will eat or what you will wear. Look at the birds of the sky, and yada yada yada. And the other day I saw the birds of the skies dead in the nest because the mother never returned to the nest because the cat ate the mother. And and the scripture said not even a single one of it falls on the ground without your father knowing. So I said, so the cat ate it, and the babies were there, and the Lord was watching.
Yeah. Shame.
Yeah.
Right. Then another similarity is, when we hear, the only way that we hear about, the involvement of aliens on Earth is by the story of these people who are abducted. They're people who, the aliens come and they pick people up, they take them to the ship.
Storytellers.
And then they spend some time and they put some probes in them. And then when they take the probes out and they drop them off again, then we have these people who have had these experiences. Or it's always one person in the middle of the desert driving, and then all of a sudden there's a light in the sky. It always happens to this one crazy person, or this one person gets this experience. And the same thing happens with the prophets.
Yeah, it looks like a story of Allah, story of Yahweh, and other gods. We just happen to know of those two gods here where we are in our era, because the others, Tatlamacholo, Kamata, and Velinganyi, but even those ones also, they don't come themselves. It's stories that come from others.
Yeah.
So
there's the same line. There's a chosen person that speaks for the aliens, and there's a chosen person that speaks for the gods. There's no difference there. Right.
Somebody was looking for evidence from people who are talking about aliens and being abducted. And the question says, didn't you see something that is unusual and steal it so that you come and show us here that I've never seen a metal like this or rubber like this, and so that we can come and check it. And none of them have done anything of that sort. And he would ask them simple questions like, how were the hinges of the door? The material that was on the seat that God.
Did you take out your phone and take a picture when you were inside the ship?
Oh yeah, because these pastors go to heaven and take pictures and come and sell them for exorbitant amounts to their flock.
I remember that one. Tabang asks an interesting question here. I'm assuming he's referring to Credo. Is this Credo Muntwa? I think his name is.
Yes, Credo.
Did he claim
to the lizard people?
The lizard, was he? Did he claim that he was abducted himself by aliens?
I know that he talks about these lizard people.
That's David Icke. Have you ever read David? That's David Icke's story where the world is controlled by lizard people wearing human skin suits, and they run the whole world from the banks down through to the Illuminati. It's all reptiles, reptilians.
The way that he relates his stories, it's difficult to put a finger on his stories, but he sells a lot of books.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
So aliens also need faith.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Tell me about this other religion, Scientology.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Esteban says he claims that he has been abducted himself.
Right. And obviously, a lot of the knowledge and the things that he has now was given to him by the aliens, right? That's crazy. Scientology.
In fact, I've seen his drawings of how they look like.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's weird. I have to look at that after this. So when you think about Scientology, right, there's a whole story that goes with it. So it started off, there was a guy called L. Ron Hubbard, previous century. He started writing science fiction for these, they called them pulp magazines.
I understand they never sold that well.
They didn't sell that well. So he came to the idea, said, how do I make money? Let me start a religion. So he started this religion. They don't talk about the aliens at on the bottom and a few levels into the religion, but when you get to the end of the religion, and all of this costs a lot of money as well, like as you go through these stages of enlightenment and development. So they believe that there is an ancient galactic warlord called Xenu that basically had people enslaved. I don't remember the specifics of it, but basically, your
I thought you were Engiaker before. You never told me that you went to Scientology also. You know too much. I'm listening.
I went to the University of YouTube, so.
Okay.
Yeah, all my knowledge comes from the University of YouTube, I have to say. So
yeah, because I understand you can't leave the religion easy. You'll be frustrated.
Yes, the control element and the cult element in Scientology is very, very strong. So, but the thing is,
I interrupted. Sorry.
Yeah, no. What I was going to say is they believe that your they call them engrams. Your soul is like a spiritual imprint on your body, and whatever troubles you went through in your previous life, those things stay with you and they affect you negatively in the life that you're living now. So your purpose is to try and rid yourself of all these reactionary behaviors. So, for example, if you're a person that is angered easily, they will work on that, with these, with this meter that measures the currency that flows through your body, and they will register when you.
Oh yeah, I understand that people are frustrated by that machine. You keep on coming for this machine, and it costs you a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm looking for power. Well, I found power.
Right. So again, another parallel that we have between UFOs and religion is this idea of signs. The signs that people see in nature. The aliens, they come and instead of saying, hey, we're here from the planet X in the galaxy Y, they come and they cut people's fields and they leave circles.
Oh, yeah. Rather than showing themselves in person.
Right. And then the same thing with with religion. People will see a cloud in the sky that looks like a cross, and they believe, oh my God, they fall on their knees, and or what's that thing?
Or the craziest one is see Mary on a toast.
Yeah. Or this statue there was a statue somewhere in India. that was crying, the Virgin Mary. The
Oh
statue.
yes, I've heard of that also.
And people realized that it was water from the drain that was seeping in through the statue.
Oh,
But a lot
and
of
in India also, if they get a child that is deformed also, they attract a lot of people coming for a pilgrimage to visit that child.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And this is the funny thing is, especially in the Eastern religions that have got reincarnation as an element in it. Especially when children are born, there's certain people, especially in the Indian religions, that will go and they will examine the child to look for signs of previous, like little indicators. Maybe this child had the same type of finger as a previous relative, like maybe the index finger is longer than the middle finger in this child, and that used to be a characteristic of another family member. Then they will believe that family member that is now dead has been reincarnated in this new child's body. But the thing is, the math
with us, we are born with 12 fingers, and we cut them. So I wonder who are we? But our males come out like that.
That's very strange. Right, and then the next item is the fear factor, what I call the cosmic fear factor. That TV show where they try to scare people and see who will survive. So
eating strange things. I think I've seen it on videos.
Yeah. So on religion side, obviously hellfire, eternal torment, and on the side of the aliens, we are always scared that some alien is going to come and invade our planet and think humans, they look delicious, let's try them. But the same principle applies. There's no difference. I can't see the difference. There's always this fear of punishment, fear of torture, fear of destruction. Same with aliens, same with religion.
Is the underworld another planet, or
isn't the underworld supposed to be like? There are two different ways of looking at it. There's in ancient societies like the Greeks, for example, they believed it was a literal place that was beneath. So
you even need physical keys.
Yeah. And then there's also this concept that it is a place of the spirit, a spiritual abode. Yeah.
Because when you hear about creatures that you see there, they don't look like creatures from this planet.
It's true.
When you read stories that talk about the underworld, and what if also it's a aliens concept also?
Yeah, you never know. But we always, I think where this concept of heaven and hell, reward and punishment, it comes from we have evolved with a sense of fairness and justice. So we, as you can even animals have this sense. You can, for example, put two dogs next to one another, and you feed the one dog more than the other dog is not going to be happy.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to complain, and he's going to bite the other one, and he's going to try to have because he realizes, hey, wait a minute, this guy is getting more food than I. So
what have I done?
Yeah, what have I done wrong?
And if it's a pit bull, if it's a pit bull, it can even decide on as justice and biting you.
Exactly. But it's built into us, So what happens is, with this whole concept of heaven and hell that must be part of the whole thing, is we feel uncomfortable, and how can I say, that we are denied justice, because we see on earth, we see that things are not equal. There are some bad people, or people who are not supposed to succeed,
and they're doing well,
and they succeed, and then there's some
That's
people
the
who are
guys are
very,
doing well.
and then there's some very good people who also suffer very badly. They suffer tragedies, failures, all of these, but they're good people. So we see this inequality in the world, and the only way that I think people can reconcile this is with this idea that there will be some justice coming up. That's a very comforting thing. When you see injustice now, you more or less make peace with the fact that that person's going to get there.
The good life is short term. I'm going to have good life, but forever.
Yeah. It's a very interesting. Before space travel was a thing, there were the succubi and the incubi, but always with a sexual connotation. Aren't those the demons, the male and the female demons that?
I wonder. I'm learning new things here. I've got a lot of reading after this.
Right. The next similarity is, we touched a little bit on this earlier, but there is a promise of afterlife in religion, and the aliens have this promise of taking you away to another planet. Some interstellar abode. You're going to visit the other planet and stay there where things are better than here. And this is it touches
the
on
new earth and the new heaven.
You got it right there. It's because, again, you can understand the origin of this, because people are not content with the environment that they are finding themselves in, so they're looking for something better. But instead of doing something to change their environment, relocating to another environment, finding something that is more suitable to them, people have got this idea in their head, like, when I die, I'm going to go to another place, and it's all going to be better.
And do you know why I know that Muslims or Islamic people like alcohol? Because in Jannah there's a river of wine.
Rivers of wine, yeah.
And it's okay. They can say it's haram here, but I'll get it in Jannah.
Yeah.
And I'll be enjoying it with my 72 raisins.
What is this? The whole story about that mistranslation of the word virgin to raisins. Have you encountered that? 72.
Yeah. But also when you look here, these places, they look like raisins also. I don't know. So it might be 72 raisins, so it must be, in a spiritual way. Raisins in a spiritual way, it's something bigger, like a virgin. I don't know.
But it just shows how we can imagine anything, and depending on your level, your level of what you will accept as evidence, your level of skepticism, you can go to some very strange places based on what you believe in.
Yeah.
But
also, I think a lot of people would not buy the story of raisins. They say, I go to safari and I open the packet and there are more than 72. And I go to Jannah again, 72 only. So somebody said, nah, I'm going to taste these two versions.
Exactly. And you can only eat that many raisins, then you get enough, you get full very quickly. Right. So the final point that I want to bring up here is this idea of faith or belief in the unseen, and the cognitive dissonance that goes with that. So religious people will just accept these ideas of an unseen, invisible, intangible, immaterial, incorporeal being in the sky that watches everything that we do every minute of the day, and he's got a list that he keeps track of. But when you speak to those very same people who believe that about the possibility of an alien that might have visited on another planet, that has the same eyewitnesses, people have documented this, people who are alive right now report that they have had face-to-face contact, experienced the glory and the radiance of these alien beings, but they will dismiss that. They will dismiss it. Nah, those people are crazy. How can you believe something so stupid as an alien spacecraft? But every Sunday they believing in the
But look at somebody who believes at the stories of Muhammad. They don't like Yeshua's stories, vice versa, and they think the other one is crazy and theirs is normal. And the opposite is true when you go to the other one also. Yeah. So these stories are a bit crazy, all of them, but you only see it if it was not said by your parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it takes a parent to make it normal.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing as well, is there has to be, I believe firmly that we as humans, we have got skepticism is in our DNA. If we weren't skeptical by nature, we wouldn't have survived all these, hundreds of thousands of years coming from the savannah. But the thing is, what is the antidote to this skepticism is group thinking. Where when we get together in groups, something happens in that skepticism. It erodes that skepticism because
you have a strong desire to belong.
Yeah.
And sometimes it makes you even to not be honest to yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
Because before I used to think I used to look at honesty as being honest to other people. Until later in life, where I saw that, no, man, a dishonest person is a person who feels in a certain way, but then they just behave as if there's nothing like that.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, well, I mean, that's basically what I have, come up with. But the next
that's that much that you have brought us from another place. When we want to go where you come from, tell us, how do we? You know a lot about these outer spaces.
Yeah, exactly. The details, and this is the thing, is the next time I run into a religious person, I'm going to ask them, why don't you believe in aliens? Do you believe that there are aliens out there? And all of these similarities, I'm going to bring them up, and then just just say, like, what is the criteria? Like, where do you draw the line? Because that is the intellectually honest thing to do. If I see to myself, okay, I've got a set of criteria for believing one thing, and then for believing another thing, I've got a completely different set of criteria. And I have to ask myself, are these two things the same? And if somebody tells me, like, wait a minute, it's this, you've got the same set of beliefs for this, the same It's the same classification of belief, the same type of event, the same occurrence.
And also justification to believe in it. Because, for instance, believing in God, they won't tell you a solid reason. They'll say, look at the trees, look at the air is blowing, you are breathing, whatever.
Who made you? Who made you? Who made you? Who made this?
Yeah. So for aliens, you can ask, who built the pyramids?
Yeah.
Are you dove? Do you think this pyramid just landed there?
Yeah. I mean, aliens created the planet. They have very, very advanced technology, planet creating machines in their spaceships, and they just saw the sun was this, remarkable planet here in this valley of the Milky Way. And they saw, oh, look here, there's 8 planets. Maybe we move the one out and we put another planet in there. And then we just sprinkle a little bit of DNA there and let's see what happens, I mean, you can't prove that it did not happen.
We don't know. Anything can be true. No. Yeah.
Yeah, Ntate, I think let's leave it there. I want to thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. We'll be, what have you got coming up? Anything that you're doing on socials?
I'm busy putting together a list of all atheists and humanists that I know, so that when we are online, they should be with us. I see we've got 4 today. Usually we don't have that number of people. I see Tabang. I see Tabang there spoke. Yeah. I saw also on the screen speaking with us. There must be others that did not comment here, but that are sitting behind. I want that number to be high so that people should be able to come and listen to this. And also we want the input from the people in the group, because we want them as guests here.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's my latest baby, working on getting people to be here.
Yeah.
And being participants.
Yeah, and especially in the Facebook groups, myself and Bolelang, we are members of the Facebook groups all across South Africa. So if you have a question or comment or an idea, or maybe you want us to do a segment on A, B, C, D, E, we want to talk to person X, Y, and Z, by all means, just send us a message on the Facebook Messenger. You'll find us in the Atheist Republic Facebook groups, and get in touch. And we appreciate your participation in this. It lets us know that all the work and the effort that we put in organizing, getting these events up and running, and investing in the platforms and everything, that it at least has an audience, and that you're finding value in it. So, by all means, interact with us, like, share, comment.
And the important one is meet the atheist.
Yeah.
Because I met a number of people that I never knew before through the series Meet the Atheist. So if you are there in the audience and you'd like other atheists to know you, you can come up here and tell us your journey.
Yeah.
How you lost faith, or how you never had faith, because I know that my faith was fake. And when religious people says, no, you're not a believer, I say, yes, I was not a believer, so what?
Yeah, and all the guests that we interview on Meet the Atheists, I asked them beforehand to give me links to their socials. So if you guys want to connect with them, you'll always find their links are in the description these video streams. So if they are prepared to connect with you, then you are very welcome to reach out to them, and that way we can network. We can increase our network. We can increase our reach, and
this is family.
Exactly. Really bogan tate. We will see you. Lena. Okay, let me play us out, and we can catch you guys next Sunday, same time, same place. See you then.